I have a plywood steering wheel, but the millionaire's mindset. I'm sailing the Helios 11 solar-powered Explorer yacht prototype I built in Finland. It's a 35-foot long, 2.2 meter narrow waterline width vessel that travels entirely on solar power. And this mission log is gonna be special because I will not edit it. I've recently realized that I'm getting stressed from doing too much of everything, and I talk a lot about automation, so this is one thing I intend to automate to make all of my work, even the content creation, much more streamlined, and then we can go faster into the future and build the next models instead of editing clips on a computer. And I do not want to hire an editor because then I still have to send the clips over, I have to manage people, I hate all of that. So I've gotten slightly sick. Now I'm feeling much better from stressing too much and having always this thought that wait, I could speak more, I could make more videos, I have so many ideas to share to you guys. And then I still have like 2 videos left to edit. Even though I edit them in a very minimalistic fashion, I just speak and then I put drone shots on top, and sometimes I show something like this. Look at the beautiful views. And this video I will not cut a single time. You will only see that initial drone shot you already saw in the introduction, because after all, we're not here to be entertained, we're here to build the future. It's free for the taking for anybody who has even a couple $1,000 and some free time. You can start building a solar powered vessel, and it's gonna be small of course, but with a budget of 50k, 100k, you could even hire a workshop to build something pretty impressive if you know what you're doing. And that's something I have a bit of, knowing what I'm doing. So today I want to present to you this honest overview of my whole process here. So actually I've been a bit disappointed in the Helios 11, and that was because my vision was too great, but my execution and handicraft skills and my patience and ability to access the full capacity of my mind and really using the tools available, that was limited. So I ended up kind of in a hurry skipping some obvious improvements that I'm now gonna make to the Helios 11, and all these improvements in mind that I'm gonna just share in a minute here. That was, by the way, the sound of the terrible steering wheel. It actually functions completely, but it doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. It's important to have a yacht that feels good, and I'm tired of this version of myself that decided to build this because I wanted to save weight, and I didn't want to make the effort of looking for like 1 hour to get the proper steering wheel. The problem was that I couldn't find a standard steering wheel with a long enough cable. Now let's go back to the main point. I was disappointed, or am still disappointed, with the performance of the Helios 11. That's something we can fix, and now the new estimates with these upgrades, it's actually far beyond my expectations I initially had for the Helios 11. So first off, why the hell didn't I put adjustable panels on the roof, on everywhere? I thought that they will blow away. I need super heavy systems to keep everything in place, but in reality it's fairly simple, and if it's very windy, you pull down the adjustable panels and keep them very close to the hull. So having these adjustable bifacial panels on the roof, almost nowhere else, that's gonna power the entire boat. If I have here, that's the bottom of the screen, is the roof of the boat, and the panel opens up. Yeah, you have better sun angle, and you have access to that additional light from the backside of the bifacial panel, and that should give roughly 10 to 15% increase. And the adjustable feature, as I discussed in my previous mission log, gives a realistic increase of 100%, double. That means that we'll have more than enough energy to travel at cruise speeds on most days, indefinitely. And when we have this adjustable feature in mind, I got this second question. I'm gonna get back to the upgrades I'm gonna do. I'm not used to speaking completely in the flow state, and now for some reason I am in a inorganized shipbuilder mindset. So yeah, we don't need to maximize the solar area necessarily. What if instead we have a very solid main array, or two arrays depending on the size and the configuration of your vessel, and we just have very good adjustability options, as well as the bifacial feature, and that functions more as a sail. We don't need to have like all of the boat covered in solar panels. Of course, like 80% will be covered in solar panels, that's just natural. But with this new revelation in my mind, I get the following upgrades. I get more space. The sun deck here, it can be just flexible panels thrown on there, you step on them, don't give a shit. You have a lot of space there, and still there's gonna be a improved backup sail there as well, so we don't need to optimize the solar on the front deck. We're gonna have a backup sail, and we have almost more than enough from the main roof array. And then on the rear as well, I can have space for the swimming platform, for hopping onto the pier when I'm moored without having to kind of duck the panels. That's not luxurious yacht living, if you ask me. I'm used to just think about the performance and fuck the rest, because I want a boat that performs. But now it seems that we can have like 95% optimized performance and still a high degree of comfort, because it leaves room for other things on the yacht. Of course, the solar yacht, according to the True North yacht science, will not be 100% optimized for comfort, because I think it's more comfortable to have performance, but still it's gonna be fairly comfortable. For example, you won't have open deck on the side of the boat. Everything will be solar panels. You just need some access from the front and the rear of the boat, and on larger yachts you would add a door at the midship and some narrow plank thing where you can step on to do things, put up fenders and push the boat away when you're about to hit something. That's important to have those access points, but it doesn't need to be full access. You don't need to have a like 10-meter balcony on every side of the boat. Then you're a millionaire with a poor mindset. And if you want more luxury, this is something I will do. I will just rent a palace. I will rent an Airbnb. If you are able to be free enough and travel in countries where you can take advantage of geo arbitrage, you can live very luxuriously. You don't have to be stuck on your boat. Even if you have a very luxurious boat, there's great benefits in getting many different things in life. Now the next thing of the upgrade of these adjustable bifacial panels would be that we had first reduced area needed, because it's functioning more, it's more condensed energy. Then we have additional comfort, and third actually, the weight balance becomes better, because you don't need to put all the panels everywhere. Instead you have a solid array, and that's gonna weigh less, so your center of balance will be lower, and then you can choose to still go for very many batteries, increasing range, increasing stability, or then you go for like a moderate amount of batteries, and that's gonna just increase your solar performance, but not your overall performance. It depends on if you want to go on cross-Pacific journeys or travel for days or like a week. It will tip the balance of optimizing solar or optimizing batteries and range on battery with solar combined. So that's an option that becomes open when you don't need to put all the panels on the roof, because if you have a lot of panels on the roof, you just really need to balance the boat with more mass underneath the waterline. And that's something batteries do perfectly. I need to focus for a while on the steering. Here's another benefit of the Helios 11. There's a buoy. I'm not sure how you pronounce it in English. A buoy in Swedish. I'm on the wrong side of it. It doesn't matter. I have a 35 centimeter depth of the boat. That's something will be accurate on every solar yacht I have designed. The depth will be like completely at a maximum of 1 meter, and deeper if you have a foldable keel deployed. So that's a luxury in my mind, because you don't need to focus on the driving as much. We continue with the upgrades that will make Helios 11 more than viable and superior to sailing boats of a similar size class. And when I mean size class here, I don't necessarily mean the length, more of the size overall. So actually, if you want to build a 10-meter sailing boat, a standard one, that would be the same cost and effort as a 12 or 13 meter Helios type vessel, which means that we can change the comparison numbers. Previously, I've compared this boat to a 10-11 meter sailing boat, and yeah, it's gonna outperform that, but to make the competition or the comparison really fair, we should compare the Helios 11 to a 9-meter sailing boat, because a lot of more materials went into a 9-meter sailing boat than this boat, because it's so light. It's still functional, it's strong enough, and most importantly, it costs less. The situation where you would choose a smaller boat due to something else than cost is very rare, I think. I don't think many people consider, yeah, I need a boat, but this boat is too big. It's usually, this boat is too expensive, so I go for the smaller boat. Anyway, let's take another example. We could then compare a 15-meter version of Helios with maybe a 11-meter yacht. So it will totally outperform it. It will completely outperform that. So we can make these estimates and comparisons based on the overall size and the mass. Not mass completely 100%, because then we could compare this to like a 4-meter boat, because normal boats are built very heavy for some mysterious reason. It seems like the shipbuilding, boat building industry is completely, utterly incompetent. But I realize that, yeah, they just want to sell boats to normal consumers that are easy to put into a mold and mass produce, and if the performance sucks, let's just put the large engine on top of it and not talk about it. Most people aren't concerned about efficiency, aesthetics. Most people aren't concerned at all about like the feeling that, yeah, this is a viable boat. Instead, yeah, this is a box I can live in, let's throw on a 300 horsepower engine and never go further than 30 miles. Let's continue with the upgrade, as I said that should make the Helios 11 completely viable. By the way, I haven't edited the video, I've just paused the recording sometime to correct my course. It's easy to get distracted here in the canals. Currently cruising through the Netherlands. I chose to not go upstream the Rhine River. The current was 3.5 knots, so I could travel at 4 knots, and that was at almost maximum throttle, and I would have had a range of roughly 20 nautical miles a day, which is shit, and it would have taken longer than taking the detour. So I'm taking the detour, the faster detour now, through the Netherlands, Belgium, and then to France. The reverse bow, that's something epic I look forward to improving on the Helios 11. On a very slender, lightweight hull, a reverse hull, even with the bulb in the front, is gonna improve the efficiency considerably. I made some estimates, and that said that I will get 8% less resistance in like medium to high speeds, and even if we get half of that, it's gonna be great. And perhaps the most important is that the Helios 11 will start looking like a Predator when we have that reverse bow. I was a bit disappointed when I had to make this curved bow in the front due to the plywood not bending from the power of my wheel. The reverse bow will increase the waterline length by 1.3 meters, and it's gonna cut through the waves better. It's gonna increase the stability, everything will increase. And I will build it from foam and glass fiber. When I get to France, I met this guy online who promised to give me space in his harbor and also access to a dry dock. Another upgrade will be the integrated fin and engine. Most of the steering, well, all of the steering done is just by turning the engine, and it's not as efficient. It has like a fin the size of my palm, and we need something more. And then I have an additional fin just bolted on the side of the boat, gives some stability, directional stability, but I want to combine both, then making this much larger fin on the engine will increase my steering, will increase my comfort of driving, and roughly reduce the resistance by 2 or 3%, because if you have two fins, two protrusions in the water, it's not as efficient as just putting everything into one single structure. Furthermore, I will add 3 more Pylontech 4.8 kilowatts batteries, and I have 3 currently, so that's gonna double the total energy I have on board. When I take away in this upgrade also the rear panels that I tried on, they are adjustable. It's a very good test. I will lose some weight, but then I will gain also weight from the batteries, but overall the boat won't become that slowed down from the added mass. But then again, we will get huge amounts of control, comfort, as well as stability on sea when we have 112 kilowatts right at the waterline of this boat that will then weigh roughly 12,000 kilos. I haven't done an exact number, but that's the estimate currently. 12,000 kilos after the upgrade. I have 3 more important upgrades in mind that I will do in France. First one still remaining is to... I got distracted by a barge. Yes, the change I need to make. Also on the side panels, I will make them adjustable. That will increase power as well, significantly. And then I will throw away my separate power station of 1 kilowatt that is running all my phones, cameras, and computers, lighting. I will throw that away and then get this inverter or converter, whatever it's called, so I can have a full 12-volt system that is directly put into the main batteries. That's gonna remove a bit of kilos and make everything just work more seamlessly. And finally, the sails upgrade. Currently I have a ice yacht sail in the front. Well, it's not in the front, but it's down there. I got it from my father. It's roughly 5.5 to 6 square meters. Not optimized. The rigging is kind of poor because I just put it on an old mast I found, an old aluminum mast that, by the way, is too heavy. We could get a couple kilos even 5 kilos away from there as well. I would upgrade these sails to be slightly larger, so 7 square meter sail on a carbon fiber mast or something that I can afford from the ad revenue of this video. And then because the sail is too far in the front, it's right at the beak of the boat, it's not good sailing experience when the wind is not from an optimal angle. I would add one roughly 2 square meter sail right at the back of the boat, or I think sailors call it the aft. I'm not used to these nautical terms yet. I'm not a sailor. I'm a like spaceship builder, but I'm currently stuck in the ocean. So having these 2 sails would take it from unoptimized 6 square meters to optimized 9 square meters. That would furthermore increase the long range capacity and cloudy condition capacity, if we have wind, of the Helios 11, make it more expedition proof. That's a very important feature, and I also want to make them as automated as possible. Currently it takes maybe 5 minutes to set it up. It's like I have these loops I made from some random ropes that go around the mast, and I poked holes with the knife to make the holes where I can put the rope in. So very custom made, just for backup, but still I've used it when the conditions have been good, and it has been working very well. I'm going to speeds of like 5 knots with barely any output from the engine, just for steering, and that way I escape the Nordic winter. Without the sail I couldn't have made this trip. It would have taken much longer. So with all these upgrades, this yacht prototype here will double in performance, overall performance that it's not gonna go twice as fast. The top speed will increase slightly, the range will more than double in most conditions. The stability and the comfort, I guess it's gonna be maybe a 50 to 80% increase, however you could even measure that. And every system will just start working together much better. Even a small 1 to 2% increase compounds with everything else, because I've realized when you're sailing, if something is a bit off, you have a bit of headwind, that's gonna make the journey kind of exponentially longer, because you consume more battery, you have to be sailing for a longer time, you have to be steering more, and then if you add waves to that, even small waves, it reduces everything slightly. So to conclude that point with a direct example, consider yourself having 2 different boats and you're about to cross rough seas and terrible weather. With one boat you just are able to travel at 5 knots, and the second boat travels at 10 knots, and the journeys would take, let's say, 5 hours and 10 hours. Do you think that the 10-hour journey would be twice as difficult compared to the 5-hour journey? No, it's gonna be like exponentially more difficult, because you're longer at sea, you're gonna be shaking more, and let's say that this twice as fast boat has similar range, similar battery capacity when we scale it down or up, then you could actually just increase the throttle to burn more energy and go 3 times as fast. Maybe this makes sense to you, but it really applies to a solar yacht. So in real life, a 10% performance increase is worth more than 10% when your life is taken into consideration. Now I'm just so eager to move forward with these upgrades. It's gonna take a month or 2 to get there, and some of these upgrades I can make on the journey, and then I will prove that solar yachts are already here, as long as you can remove yourself from limiting beliefs, from old design concepts, from industrial yacht design, from design that assumes that you want to have marble tables and porcelain toilet seats, and like 200-liter water tanks. We're in the future. You can have a 10-kilo water maker to get more than enough water for all of your systems. It's so easy, but yet so challenging, because you have to walk forward, you have to do it, you have to invent it, you have to create the systems yourself. At least some of the systems. The solar panels and the batteries already exist, so we can take them, put them together into a plywood box that is seaworthy, and then we have an infinite range solar cruiser. So now, if you've enjoyed this video, I'm gonna put up this drone shot. I lied to you, there's 2 drone shots in this video, and then the outro is gonna start playing. Follow me along on the journey toward the future of ultimate infinite range solar yachts that outperform anything on the market. Welcome to True North Yachts. Subscribe to take part of the mission, and as always, don't forget to get out.